Hi there, my favorite people, and welcome back to my channel. This is the It Stands for the Sun Tarot channel, and in today's reading, we are taking a look at who's currently thinking about you, and obviously the why part as well, because what would be the point otherwise? We're nosy people around here, and by nosy people, I mean me. Anyway, today we are picking based on beach objects. I feel like that's what the Hermit Tarot called them at some point, so that's probably where I got that from. But with that being said, for you, pile one, I have this sort of, let's do a close-up. I have this sort of rock that has a little hole in it. I don't know, it's just, it's on one side. It kind of like reminded me of a donut, and I couldn't help myself. I had to take it, even though like with me, anything I find on the beach is worth taking. It's absolutely crazy. I get so many things and I bring them home and I have no place for them. But anyway, that is for you, pile one. For you, pile two, I have this sort of shell that I really like. I don't know, it's so unconventionally pretty. I absolutely adore it. This is the back of it. It's really nothing, out of the ordinary in terms of its build, but it does have these sort of creases on it. I feel like that is what they are called, and I absolutely love it. All right, pile three, for you, I have no idea what this is. I'm going to do a close-up for it, but I honestly don't know what it is. It's very, very light, and it's not just because of its size is just very light in general, and I really felt like that is the best object to represent your pile. You're going to see why, obviously. Finally, pile four, we have this, I think it's a shell, I think it's a seashell, but it's, I don't know, it's really quite hard. The exterior is quite hard, so I'm not absolutely sure. I just really love these sort of lines that it has on it, and obviously the colors. It's orange on this side, so yeah, pile four, that is your beach object, I guess. So as always, once you are done picking your pile, you can scroll down into the description box below and find a timestamp for your reading. You click it and I'm going to meet you there. Hi there, pile one, and welcome to your reading, baby. Today we are taking a look at the person who is currently thinking about you and at the why factor. Obviously, why are you on this person's mind? And to do that, obviously, you first of all chose this little rock here that I know in the intro I called it a donut shaped rock, but actually being here and sitting in the energy of your reading, I'm also kind of like getting an additional message, if the donut was a message at all. But I'm kind of like getting this feeling that there is an individual in your life, which may be the person we're going to be discussing today, or it may even be yourself, that this individual, you're sort of taking them for face value. Meanwhile, there's really this depth to this person's character. Like, this is someone who is a deep thinker, and I feel like they have a lot more going on for themselves than they let show. But with that being said, let's get into the cards and see what they have to say. First of all, we're obviously going to look at who this person is that is thinking of you, and you actually got two archetype cards that go really well together. We got God and Messiah. The light attributes for God would be benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. And the shadow attributes would be despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. For the Messiah card, the light attribute is serving humanity with humility. Meanwhile, the shadow attribute would be exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. So right off the bat, I have to disappoint a few people here, because with this sort of reading, obviously many of us come to hear about a crush, or just the person that we ourselves have on our mind in a romantic sense. And if you can hear knocking, I'm so sorry. I don't know what my neighbors are doing. But what I'm sensing for most of you to be the case, is that the person who is currently thinking about you is someone that, yes, indeed, has loving feelings for you. They're very fond of you. They're very caring towards you, but it's sort of a fatherly love. Not to say that this person has to be a man. It just kind of like gives me Hierophant energy. So sort of like this spiritual male teacher. Like, it's not, obviously we have the High Priestess and the Hierophant in the tarot that would be the two spiritual teachers. This person gives me more masculine energies with the Hierophant. And it's really interesting because for some of you, this person is not even incarnated on Earth at this point in time. They may be a relative that has passed away, that you may have or may have not known. I can speak English apparently. Or it can be actually someone who lived a really long time ago. They may be an ancestor, or they may be someone that you have known in a past life. This person has a connection to you either way. And like, no matter whether or not this person is incarnated on Earth, they do have a connection to you. They do have a bond with you. I feel like you remind this person a lot of themselves. This person in real life, in like physical, in the physical tangible world, they may even be a teacher that you currently have if you're still in school, if you are already in the work field. They may be the person who has done your training, for example, or is just the person who is constantly there to kind of like give you advice on how to achieve greater things in the field that you currently are in. Either way, I feel like this person has done really well for themselves and they see a lot of potential in you. Okay. I also don't want to really generalize too much and be like, no, 100% this is a spiritual teacher. There's nothing else going on here, which I wouldn't advise. If this person is incarnated and they are your teacher, would not recommend that. Even if you're out of high school, even this is your college teacher, it's still, the power dynamics aren't it. Okay, homie, but I really don't want to generalize and totally exclude any sort of romantic love. If this is an actual romantic person, I would say that they are someone that you definitely have you feel a pull towards this person. You definitely, both of you are aware of the fact that you have a strong connection, a strong bond between the two of you. You may be soulmates, you may be twin flames. I don't like to throw the term around, but here we are. So it wouldn't be, just the, just the low-level crush that you have, like the guy that you keep seeing in the cafeteria and you're like, oh, that's like, he's hot, but you've never talked to him. No, this would be definitely a higher level of connection between the two of you. And to actually get more information about who this person is as an individual, ta-da! I'm finally using charms. Like, between the two of us, maybe you're watching with friends, between all of us, I've actually had my sort of charms. I'm calling them charms in quotation marks because I don't know how well I've done in picking these, but I've had these for like half a year and I was always so scared to use them because I thought they wouldn't be good enough. But finally the day has come. Let's try these and find out more about this person. But also, if you're wearing headphones, be careful, lower the volume. We're going to shake this in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Who is this person? Okay. We're going to stop there because apparently there are a lot of letters that chose to come out and I don't want to confuse anybody too much. But I'm also going to take these two charms as well. So in terms of letters, we have Actually, a lot of repeating ones, so at least it's not going to be too confusing. Also, please don't get discouraged if these don't spell out your name or this person's name or anything like that. These are only here to kind of like reinforce the message, not take away from the message. Also, these, I'm not really sure if they are Z's or N's. Take that how it resonates. We also have P here. I'm a mess at this. We're going to be here for like 3 hours. We got an M. We got a D. We got another D here. Kinky. I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to do it. All right. We have an S. Another S. So a lot, like I said, a lot of repeating. Jesus, I'm really bad at this. It's my first time, guys. It's my first time. I'm going to learn. I promise. This is a K, by the way. We have an E as well. We have a J. Honestly, fast forward if you're getting bored. We got a B. We got a X. We got another X. Okay, we got a D, one more D. We're surrounded by D's. I mean, I'm loving it. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. And we also have an R. Okay, so now with the actual charms that we got here, with this rose being here, I feel like this person, both the rose and the ring with the, you know, little, I'm gonna call it a red stone, even though we all know this is not a stone, this is a cheap ring, okay? Just between the two of us, between all of us, we all know this is a cheap ring and this is not a stone, but we're going to call it a stone. So with the rose, I'm going to call this a rose. Also, I'm not sure this is a rose. But with the rose and the red stone, I would really argue that this person is very passionate and they're really not the sort of person, I'm so sorry for the noise, they're really not the sort of person who would give up on something, not even easily, like they would not give up, period, because they only go after things that they are passionate about. They only go after things that they feel a pull towards, and once they feel a pull towards something, they can't stop themselves. Like, they have such a beautiful connection with the divine. If it wasn't already clear here, we also have the evil eye charm here, and they know that once they feel that drive, that ambition towards something, it really means that it is actually the divine that is guiding them in that direction. I feel like this is a person who has achieved a lot for themselves. They have done really well for themselves, and once again, this person sees a lot of potential in you to achieve, if not more than they did, as much as they have already achieved for themselves. Okay, but really, really passionate person. I feel like they would also be that person that really speaks with their hands, which I do that all of the time. You can't see me because the camera isn't pointing at me, but I'm always gesticulating, always. So yeah, they may be speaking with their hands. They may get really loud when they're excited, the way I'm doing now. I'm really excited for your reading for some reason. I really like this person. This is a great energy to be in. They may be a fire sign, or they may have, I'm being called to say Mars in their chart. A lot of Mars in their chart. They're like really feisty and really out there, and they really go after the things that they want in their life. And once again, a really beautiful connection with the divine. This is a very spiritual person. But I feel like we've already tapped a little bit into the why they're thinking about you. But I also have the cards to go through. So why this person is thinking about you. We have Uranus with Genius. We have number 14 with Caring Connections. as well as community. Actually, why am I using so little space? Literally, I have so much space on this table. So we have caring connections, community, and also Uranus here with genius. Also, I've just noticed this, like we have number 14 and then number 7, and obviously number 14 is a multiple of 7. So yeah, 7 may be a significant number. Obviously, we also have the number 9 here. These may be the 7th and the 9th house. So I'm really thinking of like a partnership that is based on your mutual curiosity of the world, for the world, or whatever you call that. And it's really this sort of lust for life and lust for experiences that the two of you share, that has really helped you bond with one another. And we also have the Death card, the 8 of Pentacles, and the Hierophant, which is really funny because I did mention kind of like sensing the energy of the Hierophant. Why this person is thinking about you? Obviously because they think that you can do more. If you're already involved in, you know, attempting a certain milestone in your life. What I mean by milestone, maybe you're trying out for a certain college, a bachelor's, a master's, a PhD. This person is like, you are on this person's mind because they're really hoping to hear from you about the results or how you're doing, or if you need any help with anything, or maybe you have applied to your dream job, or a job that this person even recommended to you, and they think you would be a really great fit for them. So that is one scenario, like you're currently involved in, you know, trying to reach a certain goal of yours, like yours individually, but also sort of like a goal of this person. Not to call them selfish, like they're not living vicariously to you. I just want you to understand that this person has already done a lot for themselves. They don't need to live vicariously through you, but they still, I don't know, they just get very excited when you achieve your goals. There's a really special bond, like I said, between you and this person. The other scenario would be literally just that they are thinking of you because they're just thinking about this potential that you have, and I know their mind is constantly turning, thinking of ways of how to help you grow. I haven't mentioned this, but I feel like it should have been implied. If this person is incarnated on Earth, they're definitely someone who is older than you. And obviously they have a lot more experience, and they kind of like feel this need to kind of like guide you through life. Because the thing is, we do have the Death card here, which does signify changes, a death and a rebirth. I'm just not sure if the path for that has already begun for you, like if you're actually on the path to change to maybe a better job, like I said, or a better PhD. I don't know what I'm saying, but like if you've already started down this path of change in your life, going after your goals, or it's something still in the beginning stages where you're kind of like just feeling guided towards changing something in your life. But yeah, this person is thinking about you because they have great plans for you. This sounds so weird because obviously, why is this person so involved in your life? For some of you, it may even be like a parent that you get along really well with. Once again, this is not a sort of situation in which they're forcing you to do certain things or try certain career paths or anything like that. It's just something very beautiful. This person is very fond of you and they care a lot about you, and they really encourage you to follow your dreams, okay? Because I kept talking about, you know, you kind of like following in their footsteps, but I don't think it's something that they force you to do. I feel like you're naturally guided towards the same paths that this person has already taken. And I do want to once again mention, even though we didn't talk about love that much in this reading, and I'm not really feeling called to talk a lot about it. We did have a lot of passion in this side with these charms, so it's definitely possible that for some of you, I don't know how many of you, a smaller portion, this person actually has romantic feelings towards you, and but like those are still not the reason why they want you to succeed. Like they don't want you to succeed because they are romantically interested in you and, you know, they want someone successful by their side. Okay, that's absolutely not the point. They just want what is best for you, and I feel like it's something is starting at the very least. Something is beginning, something is shifting in your life. So at this point, it's really important, the sort of guidance that you get, the encouragement that you get, and just the people that you surround yourself with. So with that being said, Pile 1, I feel like we've been here for half an hour. I really hope you enjoyed the reading. I feel like this was one of the best readings I've done in a while. This was so interesting to do and actually helpful for once. We're not talking about, you know, people who are bad for us. No offense, I know those readings are addicting, but addicting, whatever, you get addicted to them. But with that being said, I really hope that you enjoyed. If you actually stayed until now, if you enjoyed, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I would love to keep your wonderful energy around, and I really hope to see you in another reading. Bye. Hi there, Pile 2, and welcome to your reading, baby. Today we are taking a look at the person that is currently thinking about you and at the why. Obviously, a major question for this topic. For that, you've chosen this shell right here, which is so pretty. I don't know about you, but I find that the, you know, just like objects, things, people that are not the most conventionally beautiful are actually the most beautiful. I don't know, maybe you feel the same way and that is why you chose this shell right here. But I'm also kind of like getting this message that this shell may be indicative of the sort of relationship that you have with the person that we're going to be discussing. Like for some reason it just works, for some reason it just clicks, and the two of you kind of like have a perfectly imperfect sort of connection. But let's actually take a look at what the cards have to say. First and foremost, obviously, we're going to look at who this person is. And we got the archetype of the athlete. We have light attributes, dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower, and strength of spirit. And the shadow attributes would be misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability, and entitlement. Okay, so we may take this very literally and think of a person who is involved in sports or is very passionate about going to the gym and building muscle and, you know, all of that healthy lifestyle. But also, if that is not the case, I would say that this more so talks about your person's, okay, that is interesting. I didn't say your person in pile 1. This may be your person, because I'm definitely kind of like getting sort of romantic vibes, but I definitely feel like this card can also speak of this person's dedication to their own growth, to constantly improving themselves and developing into a better version of themselves. This person may have had a lot of obstacles that they literally physically needed to transcend. And I'm so sorry for the noise. I have no idea what my neighbors are doing. But yeah, the person we're discussing, they may have actually had a lot of physical obstacles to get over. This may have been, you know, if they wanted to become an athlete, maybe they were someone who was born with a really slight build, not really muscly. They had to literally grow their muscles from zero. I don't really know a lot about sports. I don't know why I'm getting into this discussion, but you know, they may have had actual physical things that they needed to transcend. Obviously, a very physical thing could be money. in itself. So even if this is not about sports, this is not about becoming an athlete or anything like that, they may have still had to, you know, get over the insufficient funds sort of element. If, for example, they wanted to go to college or they wanted to move out of their town or just stuff like that. Obviously, not having enough money is a huge impediment in our lives. But there's definitely this feeling to this person that they have managed to really build something for themselves, despite all of the obstacles that they have encountered in their life. They may be actually someone who at this point is very well known in the field that they work in or in the community that they live in, like their neighborhoods. They may be actually, if you know, the sort of neighborhood that would have I don't know, sort of council, I don't know, gated community stuff. I have no idea. I don't have money to live there. But I feel like this person, after everything that they've done and all the work that they've put into their future, they may have definitely reached that point where they could live in a gated community or they could live in a really nice place that has a lot of organization around it and I don't know, an administration board, stuff like that. But yeah, that's sort of what I'm getting right off the bat with this person. I actually want to, ta-da! What was that? Did something jump? I'm seeing things. I'm sorry. I got charms. Okay, so for once, we're going to actually be using charms to get more of an idea of who this person is, or, you know, more of an idea of what your connection with them looks like. Be it between us. I've actually had these charms for, I don't know, half a year, and I always doubted that they were good enough to use, and I thought everybody would consider me silly. Like, how are you going to use these? Like, this is so unprofessional, and you're such a newbie. I don't know, but finally I'm feeling good about it, and we're going to use some charms. But with that being said, if you're wearing headphones, you may want to lower the volume, because we're going to shake this in 3, 2, 1. Okay, that is a lot. That is a lot. Let me pause the camera, actually. Alright, y'all, so I managed to gather everything that went out of the little charm container thingy, and we're going to start out with some letters that we got. But please don't get discouraged if, I don't know, these don't spell out this person's name or your name. These are supposed to reinforce the message, not take from it. Okay, so the letters that we got are M, R, P, an N or a Z. I have no idea. I think it's an N. I don't know. We also have an X, an O, an S, an H, and a B. And I'm so sorry that these are so small, and you obviously, my camera is pretty shit, so you can pick up on them, but hopefully you were able to understand what I was saying with these letters. Now, in terms of charms, we got quite a few, definitely more than I got in pile 1. I'm definitely sensing with this sort of, what even is this? It's sort of like a deer that is running, and obviously we know that deers can run pretty fast, and this really gives me the idea that, one, this person is someone who kind of like jumps ship a lot, so to say. I feel like they are someone who is naturally gifted at a lot of things, and because of that they get bored of those things easily, because once they are you know, able to achieve something really fast, you kind of like lose interest in the thing itself. Maybe they have changed a lot of places of work or schools, or in case this person is an athlete, maybe they play for a team, maybe they've changed, you know, obviously teams a lot, or managers or something like that, if this person is a sort of, I don't know, a celebrity in their community or their field. But definitely I'm sensing about this person that they are someone who's just naturally gifted at a lot of things. In terms of your relationship, the jumping deer, I guess, the running deer, whatever you want to call it, could definitely signify the fact that things have moved pretty fast between the two of you. Once you have met one another, maybe you have skipped a lot of stages. I'm really thinking of the song by Sabrina Carpenter, Fast Times, which is really, really good. But basically, yeah, it's about jumping over a lot of stages in the relationship. It may also be indicative of the fact that when the two of you get together, when you get to speaking to one another, it's so natural, and you can like complement each other really well, and maybe, you know, like how people say finish each other's sentences, it's sort of that idea. I'm also getting with this pin being here, this actually says, this is in Romanian, it's actually from our communist times, it was my mom's, but it says friend of books. Obviously, this can mean that you have bonded over love of books, or it can be more general and refer to sort of your hobbies, that you have a lot of common hobbies that you get to discuss. Like I said, I feel like this person has a lot of different interests that they kind of like change regularly, so I wouldn't be surprised if this person actually has a lot of hobbies that they alternate between. We also have this, what do you call this in English? A coin. This is I guess you would call it a 5-cent coin. I don't know how to actually translate that, but just for a reference. This really makes me think, once again, of that idea that this person does have a lot of money. They've made them on their own, like everything they have, they've built, okay, with their own two hands. But I definitely feel called to say that this person may have a lot of money. We also have this sort of, what do you call this? I think it's called an SD card. It's kind of like what you put into your phone to get more memory on it. I don't even know what's on this. I haven't used it in years. That's why I put it here, because I didn't have anything else to do with it. But it really also gives me the idea that this person may work in the tech industry or in the IT industry. And in terms of or they are someone who is really talked about online. They may have their own, you know, online following that is quite substantial, and they constantly have to post, because obviously when you have such a large community, you have to make sure to keep them there. So this person may be on their phone a lot, on their Instagram, on their, I don't know who uses Facebook, but let's just assume. So on their Instagram, on their TikTok even. So obviously you have to maintain that community by constantly posting. So this person may be a lot on social media. And this can also indicate the fact that the two of you have met online. Maybe you've spoken most of the times online. I'm not even sure, like maybe you haven't met in real life yet. I don't know, it's sort of like an if situation, but I definitely see a connection to online and to technology. And finally, we have this little heart charm, which is so pretty. I love it so much. So definitely this person has feelings for you. This heart charm is way too beautiful for you to not have feelings for them. I don't know how much you've discussed these, but yeah, it's really cute. I really feel like they have like actual deep feelings for you. But let's take a look now that we've found out who this person is. Let's take a look at why they are thinking about you. I know this reading has already been long enough, but hopefully you're still here with me. So as to why they're thinking about you, we have Cancer with I Feel and 12th house with Escape. We have the Thinking Man, so, you know, quite appropriate. Why are they thinking about you? The Thinking Man. Who would have guessed? In terms of tarot, we have the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Cups reversed, don't get alarmed about that. We'll see what that is about. And also 6 of Torches, which would be the 6 of Wands reversed. Okay, so I definitely feel like this person may have strong water in their chart. Obviously, we have Cancer here, and the 12th house would be ruled by Pisces. For some reason, I'm getting that they may be strongly influenced by the phases of the moon, because both Cancer and Pisces are usually associated with the moon. Obviously, Cancer is ruled by the moon, and Pisces, I know some people take the moon card in tarot as being a Pisces card. I don't know exactly why, because I don't do that. It's obviously Cancer, but there we go. So this person may have strong water in their chart. I feel like they're definitely someone who is very dreamy and very prone to idolizing people in their life. So I would argue that this person, when they think of you, is not, generally that they're thinking of you in a real sense, like, oh, what is pile 2 doing? I feel like they go full-blown fantasy, and I'm not necessarily seeing like anything spicy here, which it's not out of the question or anything, but it's definitely a fantasy in the sense that, oh, I would do this if pile 2 would be in front of me right now, or they fantasize about a potential date, potential meeting, which really once again kind of like makes me think of the message that we got with the SD card, that maybe you haven't actually met in the physical world, and they sort of fantasize about what that would be like, where they would take you. But even if you have met, they're definitely someone who likes to romanticize and idolize a lot. They may imagine romantic dates, or they may imagine, domestic life with you, just something very, very romantic, which may be weird depending on how strong the bodybuilding athlete energy, how accurate, that message was. Because like, I imagine this person with huge muscles, like with their arms as big as a child's head, like just romanticizing every interaction that they've had with you, basically. But I feel like there's also a lot of worry with this person, of potentially screwing things up themselves, or things getting screwed up. Because with the 2 of Pentacles being here, this is the sort of person who puts, like I said, a lot of work into themselves, and it's sort of their job to do so in one way or another. Whatever they do for a living, it involves a lot of time and effort, and they're really afraid that you're going to leave once you realize that they don't really have that much time for a relationship. I feel like that may have been a pattern in the past. They feel like they can't win, like they can't win, because it's always this push and pull between their work life and their love life. So definitely when they think of you, between these romantic fantasies and escapism strategies, honestly, because I feel like this person is like really feels the need to escape their own reality at times, and their go-to would be just imagining their life with you, which is really cute. But between these fantasies, I feel like they're really worried about the fact that you're going to leave them, because that's what people have done in the past, and they know like they can't, like it is going to be a constant push and pull. It is going to be this constant juggling, and obviously in every 2 of Pentacles, in every juggling situation, at one point one of the balls is going to be higher up than the other, and I feel like it tells a lot the fact that in the 2 of Pentacles, that's always the case. Like these 2 balls are never at the same level. So one thing is always going to be more important. And I'm so sorry, pile 2, but it is going to be their career, because they've put a lot of work into it, and it's what they always dreamed of. They've realized so much in spite of all the obstacles that they had to face. So obviously they're going to do everything in their power to keep that. And that's why they're worried. That's why they worry so much about your connection, because they really don't know if you're going to stick around, but they want you to stick around, because they really see you as just such a perfect partner for them, and they're really in love with you. Okay, like I don't throw words around, but I really sense that this person is in love with you, and they want things to be good with the two of you. But with that being said, that has been the reading. I feel like I've kept you here long enough. Hopefully you've at least found it enjoyable. If you did, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I would love to keep your wonderful energy around, and I really hope to see you in another reading. Bye! Hi there, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading, baby. Today we are taking a look at the person who is currently thinking about you, and obviously at the why as well, because that's such a crucial question in this. For that, you've chosen this... No, still don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is, but I really like the texture and the fact that it's really, really light, like you can barely feel it, and it's not just because of the size, it's just very light in general. If you know what this is, actually comment down below, please, because I'm really curious. But I kind of like chose this for you, Pile 3, exactly because it was so light, and it kind of like gave me this vibe of volatility, and you're going to understand why once we dive into your reading, which is actually right now. So obviously we're taking a look first and foremost at the person who is thinking about you, and you actually got two archetype cards. We have the Addict and the Alchemist. I'm so sorry. So the light attribute for the Addict would be helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. Meanwhile, the shadow attributes are compromises, integrity, and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority. Sorry, I don't know what that is. So allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. And in terms of the Alchemist, the light attribute would be transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. Meanwhile, the shadow attribute would be misuse of the power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. I just kind of like got a really negative vibe from this person right from the start, and I don't want to concern anybody. I just wanted you to be aware of it. This person really gives me the energy of someone who is very changeable, not only in their own pursuits, but also in their relationships with other people. I'm really seeing this person as someone who can be really friendly and really nice to someone one day, and then the next day be an absolute asshole. And I feel like really these mood changes, which they're not mood changes in the most general sense, I guess, like, no, in their actual sense, but they're kind of like mood changes towards respective people. I feel like these are triggered by certain feelings of inadequacy in this person, certain feelings of inferiority that may occur in this person as a result of a certain interaction with an individual, or maybe hearing good news about the person that they're having a conversation with, and they're kind of like become jealous and threatened in their self-image so much that they feel the need to bring the other person down. Yeah, really kind of like nasty energy, and I feel like it kind of like makes sense now what I said with the sort of object, I guess, that you've picked. It's very light, it's very volatile, and that is the sort of connection that people can have with this person. I also feel like they have this knack for communication. However, just something about the way that they speak really gives people, leads people to get the sort of sense of trust when it comes to them. But this trust, like, needless to say, it's very misplaced, and ultimately it can lead to this person kind of like using the information they've got to kind of like hurt the other person. this is really kind of like insecure energy. This person, like I said, definitely feels inferior to a lot of people, but they will do their ultimate best to prove that they're not actually inferior, when in reality, like, nobody, I don't feel like anybody is actually being mean to them. I don't think anybody is trying to make them feel inferior or small or stupid or anything like that, but it's their own insecurity that takes the lead. So yeah, it's really shitty that you would have this person come through in your reading. If you felt cold to any other pile, please do click on it, because I'm sure there are much nicer messages coming through for you, pile 3. But this is the person that is coming through in this particular reading. I don't want to make assumptions with the added card that they actually have certain addictions, like, you know, the nastier sort to actual substances, but they may be addicted to things like attention from people, putting themselves up on a pedestal, and that addiction to people may be to people who themselves put them in like on a pedestal and think like the world of them. They may have, I know, sort of addictions to being the center of attention, that sort of thing. It doesn't have to go on the actual nastier side, and it would be even worse. Like, this is not such a strong message, but I feel the need to mention it. They may tackle spirituality in one way or another, and that may in itself help them in their negative pursuits. Obviously, when you are a negative person, you attract negative energy in return, and that at times can even extend to other people if they've come in in too close a contact with this person. I actually want to get more information on who this person is, and we're going to use for the first time my little charms here. Be it between us, I've had these for like half a year, but I always felt kind of like stupid, and I just felt like people would make fun of me because these are not, the sort of charms that you see in bigger YouTubers sort of videos and stuff, and I kind of like felt insecure, but we're finally using them. But with that being said, if you're wearing headphones, you would want to lower the volume on that. So we're going to shake this in 3, 2, 1. All right. Do I want to take these? Let's take them. I feel like they would be relevant for the reading at hand, but we're going to start with the letters that we got. These are only supposed to reinforce the message, not take from it. So if they don't resonate, then please don't let them take from the reading. We have a T here. We have an X. We have a Y. So I'm actually kind of hearing that's strange, because I didn't want to give any messages that I'm getting for the letters themselves. I kind of like wanted you to interpret them as you feel called to do so. But with Y here, I'm kind of like hearing, why did you leave? Like, why did you leave me behind? You may not be in contact with this person at this time. Obviously, we may get more information about that with the cards on the actual why this person is thinking about you. But they're kind of like, they're really confused about your connection, yours and theirs, your connection with them. So we also have a B, we have a C, we have an M, we have another X here. So I'm really thinking X best friends, or X like an actual X. We also have a K. We have another B. We have an S. I'm going to get better at this, I promise. So we're not going to spend like 5 whole minutes on just the letters. What is that? That's an H. Okay. We got an R. We got an, oops. We got an I. And we got a D. I think that's all of the letters that we have. So we have a T, an X, a Y, 2 B's, 1 C, an S, K, M, an H, an R, an I, a D, and also, like I didn't mention, that we have 2 X's here. But in terms of the actual charms, where do I even begin with? What do I even begin with? Because it's such a interesting message. Let's start with the keys. This definitely leads me to believe 2 things. First one, about this person, they really, like I said even earlier, they really like to have around them people that they can sort of like tie to them. Even with these bracelets here, these really make me think of chains. That's why I took them. They really like to have people around them that they know they're going to stick around, because they are sort of infatuated with this person, not necessarily romantically, but they are definitely people who see themselves as less, and they see this person that we're discussing here that is thinking about you as someone who is better than them, and someone that they should feel grateful towards for, I don't know, taking them under their wing, or for even talking to them, even being friends with them, that sort of thing. So if this person has a low self-esteem, they mask it, okay, by acting superior. The people that they are attracting are people that they can, that this person can tie to themselves through the fact that these people feel very, very inferior, and they act the part as well. Maybe you've been in a sort of similar situation with this person. I know I've had that with my ex-best friend, so there's no shame in it, and there's no shame in admitting it. At one point in our life, obviously, we may have been like that. It doesn't mean that we're like that right now. It doesn't mean that we didn't grow from the situation, especially since I'm really getting a frustrated energy from this person, being like, why did you leave? Why did you leave me behind? Why did you not want to be in this sort of toxic bond with me anymore? For some of you, it may even have been a sort of like a stronger bond. Like maybe you could have been like karmics for one another. Also, this could have been absolutely a romantic interest that you've had this sort of connection to, and maybe this is the sort of romantic partner that they attract. But I'm trying to speak generally, so include the people who resonate with this being an ex-friend as well. This may be someone who works in the tech industry. This is actually I think it's called an SD card. It's what you put into your phone to like get more memory in it. But yeah, this may be someone who works in the tech industry, in the IT industry, or someone who has, for example, if they don't actually work in the IT industry, they may be someone who has a large following on their social media, and obviously that sort of community that you form there needs to be maintained. People need to be kept engaged, so this person would be constantly on their phone trying to engage their audience constantly. Or it may have been that you've met online, that you've had a lot of communication online, that sort of thing. And also with this coin here, money. Maybe this is something that this person has held over you, like depending on how toxic this relationship actually was, they may have held money over your head and kind of kept you in the connection with the threat of like taking away money from you. Maybe this was even about a divorce you know, obviously, and in the divorce, they may have tried and knew that they are going to take a lot of money. They're going to ask for a lot of money in this divorce, or conversely, this can just speak of this person having a lot of money in general. But with that being said, let's actually take a look at why they're thinking about you. We have Mercury with mind. We got envy, and actually that's like, I never utilize the whole space. Like, I swear to God, it's always so much, there's so much space that is never used in these readings. But we have Mercury with mind, we have envy, clearly. And in terms of tarot, we have the Nine of Swords, we have the Four of Cups, and we have the Five of Torches. Okay, so first and foremost, pile 3, I would say that you really did a number on this person. They think about you quite a lot, and they get a lot of anxiety when it comes to you. If you've been in a stronger bond with this person, they're definitely, you know, they have anxiety over the fact that you left, and it kind of like triggers their attachment issues, their what is that called? Like, what is that called when you have a fear of abandonment? It definitely triggers their fear of abandonment. Maybe they have been left in the past. Maybe their parents weren't that involved with them. Maybe one or both parents actually like quite fully abandoned them. But it definitely triggers something in this person, the fact that you're not, at the very least, as available to them as you used to be, because I don't want to generalize and be like, oh, you definitely left this person. It may be just that you're not as available to them, and they're kind of like losing they feel like they're losing their hold on you, and I feel like it may even affect their other relationships as well. They're beginning to doubt their influence over the other people that they have in their life, because I really feel like with this person, it's about influence, like having influence over people. And a lot of the times, listen, I don't want to villainize this person. I know it seemed like I did, but I don't. And if you resonated with that message of having had a strong bond with this person, if you've considered them either, you know, the love of your life or your best friend, or both at the same time, because even our romantic partners we can see as best friends. If you've had that with them, they did see you the same way. Okay, and with the Four of Cups being here, I'm hearing that nobody compares. Like, absolutely nobody compares to you. Nobody, like, they didn't have another friendship as meaningful as what the two of you had since you chose to walk away from this person, because I really feel like it was your own choice. Or they didn't have such a meaningful relationship, romantic relationship, since you've left. Nothing compares. Okay, and there are so many reasons why this person thinks about you, but the strongest one, I'm going to get into envy as well, but the strongest reason why this person thinks about you is because you are such a big part of this person's life. And even if there was a lot of time that has passed since you've separated from one another, it's still, it was such a meaningful connection. You can't help being drawn back to it. You can't help things, reminding you of that person, like things you used to do, places you used to visit. You know how we nowadays have on our phones that reminders of, look, a year ago you were here, and they may see a picture of you. And there's this song on, I saw it on TikTok, but I don't know what the title is, and I don't think I remember the lyrics that well. But it was something I still cry when I find old pictures of us. I feel like that is the main message that was that was highlighted there. So why this person is thinking about you, the biggest reason is because you were such a huge part of this person's life, and a lot of things actually remind them of you. But with that being said, we can't ignore the fact that envy does play a huge part. The thing with this Five of Torches, the second it came out, I thought of the musical Hamilton, or actually that's not the right way to put it. I was thinking about the relationship between Aaron Burr and Alexander Hamilton, who at one point, you know, at least they called themselves best friends, but Burr was always, you know, kind of like envious of Hamilton. And I actually got in my mind some lyrics from the song Wait For It, which is such a masterpiece, but actually I think I saved them on my phone to kind of like look at. Okay, so you see how in this card, in this Five of Torches, we do have like figures actually climbing up a hill, like two different figures, and one of them is a head. I was really thinking about these lyrics from the song Wait From It, from the musical Hamilton. Once again, I'm repeating myself. I like to, you know, give the sources. But the lyrics are, Hamilton faces an endless uphill climb. He has something to prove, he has nothing to lose. He wastes no time. What is it like in his shoes? Hamilton doesn't hesitate, he exhibits no restraint. He takes and he takes and he takes, and he keeps winning anyway. He changes the game, he plays and raises the stakes. So there's definitely this envy that this person has for you, especially if you resonated with that message that we got with the charms, that this person really likes to surround themselves with people who think of themselves as less, and they feel really grateful to this person for like being friends with them or just like accepting them in their life. If you resonate with that, this person is definitely so mad at the fact that you're doing so much better without them, that you are thriving without them, that you're doing so well for themselves, which is not to say that this person is not doing well for themselves, but I feel like in their head, it is this constant like this sort of race that they have with you. And for such a long time, they felt like they were ahead in this race. And now that you're free of them, you're doing so well for yourself. It's definitely hurting this person. It's hurting their ego, first and foremost, because if they were acting from their heart space, they would realize how much they actually love you and care about you, and that these feelings are just so redundant when two people care and love each other. Okay, because I definitely feel like there's love here, not trying to turn you back toward this person. Absolutely do not go back to this person. That is my personal advice. But I just want you to be aware of that. So when this person thinks about you, there are a couple different scenarios. They can think of you from their hurt ego perspective when, you know, they become envious of everything that you've done for yourself without them and how far ahead you've gotten without them. But when they're acting from their heart space, when they're thinking of you, when their thoughts of you come from their heart, they miss you. Like, they miss you deeply, and they have this inner knowing that nobody, like no other connection, is going to feel like your connection with them felt. Nobody is going to feel so right as you did. And they're definitely kind of like, these thoughts are eating at them when they really allow them to come in, because a lot of times I feel like they force themselves to stop them, because they would become spiraling. They would start spiraling. Okay, so a lot of times they stop themselves, but when they do allow themselves to think of you, it kind of like one thing leads to another, and it's kind of like this alternation between ego and heart, like constant. But like either way, they still feel hurt by the fact that you're missing from their life. So no matter what they act from, you know, from their ego or from their heart. They still feel hurt that you're not in their life anymore. But with that being said, Pile 3, that has been your reading. I have no idea in what way you could have enjoyed this, but if you found it insightful, at the very least, you can consider, you know, liking, commenting, subscribing. I would love to keep your wonderful energy around, and I really hope to see you in another reading. Bye! Hi there, Pile 4, and welcome to your reading, baby. Today we are taking a look at the person who is currently thinking about you and at the why. Obviously, crucial question for this topic. And for that, you've chosen this little shell piece, I'm guessing. I don't know, I just really like the texture, and I'm so sorry that you can't feel it yourself. It feels so nice to the touch, and I also really enjoyed the colors. For the other piles, I really felt called to kind of like interpret the objects. Let's call them objects. The objects that they've chosen in the, you know, pick a group portion. And with you, I just feel like there are not as many messages that are coming through from this one object. I feel like there's almost this facade that is currently put over the connection that you may have with this person that we're going to be discussing, and there's more than meets the eye. So I'm going to not really read the energy of the object right now, but we'll see if we get additional messages in, you know, the reading itself. So to begin with, let's see who is thinking about you. We have the archetype of the thief here. The light attribute would be sheds light on the potential wealth within you that can never be stolen. And the shadow attribute would be stealing money, creative ideas, affection, or other powers you think you lack. Right off the bat, I'm getting this message that this may not be the most honest person. I know, shocker, like you couldn't have interpreted that yourself, but hear me out, okay? I don't necessarily, I mean, I can't make a clear judgment on this right away, but the first energy that I'm picking up on is that yes, this person may not tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth at all times, but it's not, I think, from the meanest of they're not coming from like the meanest of places. Like we see even in this card, right, we have this man who is opening up their coat or whatever, and they have this heart inside it. So if the coat is put in place, this heart is not visible. So I feel like the reason why they're not completely truthful at all times is the fact that they don't want to show their hand, they don't want to show their heart to just anybody. This may have been someone who has been hurt in the past, or you know, just someone who just has a lot of insecurities about themselves, and they don't really understand why somebody would, for example, like them for them if they don't want something else. But I really see this person as being very protective of their heart. But once you get this person to open up, I feel like they can be like the sweetest, most caring, most loving friend or partner that you can come across. It's just that they will not let you see that right away. Like we were talking about with the facade here, it's sort of this, I don't know what it can be. It can be, you know, a facade in which they present themselves as being more lighthearted than they actually are. Maybe they present themselves as very sociable and friendly and talkative, and basically they will talk your ear off, but when you go back and actually try to analyze what they've said, you kind of like realize that it was kind of like sweet nothings, or, you know, just nothings in general. They were just like such trivial subjects. Another thing about this person, they may not actually want to discuss any deep sort of topics in general, because in deep conversations you do tend to show a lot of your opinions and your takes on things, and I feel like in some cases that may be too much for this person. But in terms of this facade, they may even, I don't know, for some reason I'm thinking like with this particular figure here, I'm thinking of Peaky Blinders. Like, I've never watched Peaky Blinders, but obviously we all know the main character. I don't know his name. I'm so sorry. Like, don't shoot, you guys, but I have no idea what is his name. I just know his face, and I don't know, this figure kind of like reminds me of the snapshots that I've seen of the show, and obviously he's goddamn faces everywhere. So the facade that this person may put up, it can even be this sort of like stoic, very serious demeanor that they like to show, and it's just like really hard to get this person to even talk to you, even look at you, even just give you any sort of attention whatsoever. But those are just examples, right? At their core, I do believe that this person is, like I said, very loving and very caring, and they really care a lot about the people that they have in their life, and they really like to encourage said people. They really like to what's the word for that? I want to say sustain, because that's the word for word translation, I guess, from Romanian, but I can't think of it. When somebody needs, I don't know, monetary help in order to achieve something, or they need someone to kind of like take care of their expenses while they're too busy to get a job, like maybe they have children, or maybe they have to go to school, that sort of thing. Like they really like taking care of their loved ones. This is just something additional. It may not resonate for everybody, but this person may actually be someone who has a lot of money. They may come from money as well. But with that being said, I actually want to take, ta-da, the charms. I have charms now. I have actually had these for like half a year, but I was always so embarrassed to use them. I just felt like everybody would call me, I don't know, stupid and a newbie, and what the hell are these? Like I don't know, the charms on other channels are so much better, but finally I've decided to use them in this reading to actually get more information about who this person is. But with that being said, if you have headphones, please lower the volume, because I'm guessing this can get loud. And I'm going to shake it in 3, 2, 1. Okay, I think that's enough, because otherwise we would have gotten a lot more letters. And yeah, even though we didn't get a lot of charms, you know what, keep that volume down. Hopefully we don't get more letters. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's get a hang of this. Let's first look at the letters that we got, and I'm so sorry that these are so small, but this is what I'm working with right now. We have a P. Also, don't let these take from you. These are here, the letters are here to reinforce a message, not take away from the message itself. So we have a P, we have an E, we have a Q, we have an M. Wow, these are a lot of letters. We have a G, we have an R. I'm really trying to not make dirty jokes, just so you know. We have an H, we have an I, we have a K. What's this? This is another K. Okay. We have a J. Oh, come on. I can't find a sign where it's actually, thank you, visible. Okay, we have a J. We have an N or a Z. I guess, take that how it resonates. We have another J. Oh, come on, I've done it again. Anyway, you can't see these either way, like they're so small and my camera is so shit. I don't know why I'm trying so hard. We have another Q. We have a V. We have another N or a Z. And we have an S. Is that how what an S looks like? Oh, I mean, I promise you guys, I do know what an S looks like. It's just, you know, in this context, people are all over me, just so you know. I don't know, I'm gonna stop. In terms of the actual charms, we have this coin right here, which has actually come out a lot, like in, I think, 3 out of 4 piles. And it really reinforces sort of like the message that I've got, that this person may have a lot of money. They may come from money, but not necessarily. I do feel like this person is a hard worker and they would enjoy working for their own money and putting in the long hours to know that they have actually worked for their gains in life. But there's so much more giving when it comes to other people. I think that they're not really into taking money from people. Like I said, they really like to work for their stuff, but they're really giving with their own money. An additional message, for some reason, maybe they're a banker. I know why I'm getting that. I didn't get this message with the other piles, but for some reason it's just coming through. Or they're working with money just in general. They may do accounting or whatever else you do with numbers and money, which I don't understand. I've never understood finance, just so you know. We also have this little heart here, which is so pretty. Yeah, this really leads me to believe that this person does have feelings for you. I've mentioned this in like pile 2 because they also got the heart. This heart charm is way too beautiful for you to not reciprocate the feelings. I don't know, it just makes me think of mutual love because it's such a beautiful shaped heart with these little flowers here. But yeah, I definitely feel like this person has romantic feelings for you, and also it also once again reinforces the message that this person does have a really big heart and a really giving and caring and beautiful heart that they don't show to just anybody. Okay, so if you've seen this person's heart, not literally, hopefully, maybe you've done a what's that called, surgery on them, and you've seen it then, and you know it kind of like clicked. You fell in love afterwards. Just kidding, obviously. But if you've actually got to know this person deeply, if they trusted you enough to show you that heart, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it just yet, I would say that just give this person time, because it's hard for them to open up. But we also have this sort of like deer charm that's kind of like running, jumping, running. You know the way deers usually run. It also, this kind of like makes me think of fast movement, but not necessarily in the relationship. I don't know, it's really fascinating how different the messages can be between groups, because I did get this in another group as well. But for this person and for your connection with this person, it really rather makes me think of the fact that you just came out of nowhere for this person. And this person for you, obviously, doesn't have to be one-sided, but it was kind of like so unexpected. It just happened. Like one day you weren't there and the next you were. And yeah, it was just so unexpected, and kind of like a very quick, like you clicked with one another really fast. I don't know. I mean, given this person's character analysis, I would say that the follow-up wasn't as consistent as that first meeting, but I do believe that there was an instant click between the two of you. With this, like, finally we got this sort of bead thing, which I'm going to be honest with you, Paul, for I have no idea why I put it there. It was just like sort of this object that was laying around and kind of like was, you know, if this comes out, I'm just gonna wing it. And lo and behold, that's not how you say it. Anyway, it came out, right? So we're going to wing it. For some reason, I'm really thinking of friendship bracelets, you know, like the stuff that kids make. So it can be that the two of you are really on this journey to first and foremost become friends. I'm getting that you know, communication may become more often. It may come more often. You may talk more often, like I was saying, and there's really this sort of friendship that is building, but it's more so a crutch for this person because they really don't want to, you know, be too forward with you. They don't want to just jump headfirst into the situation. They really want to take things slow and easy. They want to ease themselves into the connection because they do feel themselves kind of like getting feelings for you, and they don't want to rush that. They don't feel safe when things are rushed. But yeah, for some reason with the bead, I'm thinking friendship, bracelets, stuff. Finally, after those long, I feel, was it 15 minutes? I'm so sorry if you're getting bored. I don't know, I'm having fun today with these readings. I really like long readings. But with that being said, we're finally getting into the why this person is thinking about you. So we have Void of Course Moon with missing. We have number 5 with attachment. We have, I feel like there's always all this space that I'm not using in reading, so that's why I'm kind of like putting these apart so it doesn't look as, I don't know, awkward with all of those edges. But once again, back to the reading. We have the Strength card. We have the Queen of Swords. And we have the Chariot. For some reason, I'm being called to name the signs that we have on the table. Obviously, the Strength card is Leo. The Chariot, what was that? The Chariot is Cancer, and the Queen of Swords is just air energy in general. I'm not actually sure which sign it is the most. I don't know which sign she actually stands for, but it's like the air sign, so Libra, Gemini, Aquarius in the mix, in the house, which is quite the mix, you know, like we have fire, we have air, and we have water. All we're missing is earth, which I feel like is very telling because this, I really feel like your connection with this person is not really grounded and stable at this current time. It's kind of like up in the air. But why they're thinking about you. Obviously, we have the main message with that we even got with the heart here. They are thinking about you because they do at least begin to have feelings for you. But they're also kind of like concerned about how much they actually want to take action towards you with the Chariot being here. They constantly, I don't know, I feel like this Queen of Swords is so interesting. We have this figure, obviously the actual Queen of Swords, that is sitting here on her throne, like covered in blood. And we also have these two eyes behind her watching. I feel like this person is constantly feeling like they are watching themselves from an outside place. Sort of like they have this side of themselves that is action oriented and communication oriented and like clear, obviously clear communication oriented. And they also have this side that is telling them to take things easy, to take things slow, to like think everything through, to be very logical about everything, to even play games at times. This may be the sort of person that may even be into like, you know, testing people with certain things. They kind of like have like the Strength card, you know, like we have this human figure here, and we obviously have this lion that she, in this case she, or we can say they are trying to tame. And I feel like this is what this person is constantly trying to do, like not let their fears and their overthinking take over them. Like, isn't this so interesting? Like all of the tarot cards have this duality within them. Obviously we have the Strength card, the more composed human element here, and obviously the untamed lion. We've talked about the Queen of Swords as well, with the main figure here front and center, but we also have these eyes behind her that are watching. And in the Chariot, obviously we have the two, in this case they are lions. They usually are sphinxes. I think that's what they're called. But obviously we have one dark, one light, and it's sort of this yin and yang energy. So there's this duality within this person, and they're never acting from just one place only. It's always these two sides of themselves coming together and reaching a conclusion, you know. And I feel like that this is part of the reason why it really takes this person a lot to open up to people and form connections, because it takes a really long time to deliberate and run all of their tests and just realize that this is the right person for them. But we're talking about why they are thinking about you. They're obviously thinking about you because they do have feelings for you, and in this thinking of you, it's basically these two sides of themselves deliberating when it comes to you. Kind of like, should I text this person first? Should I ask them to go, I know, to the supermarket with me? Like, they're constantly kind of like, oh, I'm gonna ask them to do this, but it doesn't have to be like, it shouldn't be too forward. So it should be like, this is not a date. It should be something less romantic. Oh, I know, we're just going to go to the supermarket and buy milk. You know, I'm just going to ask them, hey, I don't want to go alone to the supermarket. Would you come with me? So they still get to interact with you, but they don't reveal their hand and their heart to you, like we said in the beginning. So I feel like when they're thinking about you, they're constantly thinking of ways of talking to you or spending time with you without actually telling you why they want to spend time with you. Really interesting. Wild. A little wild. Not gonna lie. And they're constantly kind of like torn. Maybe you kind of get a hot and cold energy from them somewhat, or if not hot and cold, because obviously hot and cold would be one day they're really friendly towards you and the other day they don't speak to you at all, not even look at you. But it may be the fact that you kind of like think to yourself, oh, this person definitely wants to spend time with me. You know, if they are talking to me, if they're texting me, or they want to go to the supermarket. But at the same time, when you talk to them or you are around them, they're a little bit cold and composed, and you're like, well, I don't know, they're acting like they don't want to be there for some reason, when in reality they do. So they're definitely alternating between this is going nowhere with void of course moon and missing, and you know, their attachment that is slowly forming towards you. And I'm reading attachment here only in a positive light, like them developing feelings for you and wanting to pursue this further. I'm not interpreting this as, you know, toxic, unhealthy attachment. So yeah, they're thinking about you because they're really deliberating, honestly. Like, they're trying to weigh their options. Like, do I talk to this person? Do I not talk to this person? Do I allow this person? Do I not? And I feel like a lot of the times this person is stuck in analysis paralysis. But yeah, Paw 4, that has been your reading. I really hope that you enjoyed. Hopefully we haven't been here for like 30 minutes, even though it's probably close to that. If you enjoyed, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I would love to keep your wonderful energy around, and I really hope to see you in another reading. Bye!